We are with State Representative Alex Ramel from the 40th District. Now, I know that one of your priorities is addressing the homelessness and housing crisis, and you're doing this from different angles. So one of them is rent stabilization. We've talked about that, but tell me the other things that you're doing.
Sure, thanks. So I think of tackling our housing crisis as sort of a three-legged stool, and we need all three pieces of it. So we've talked before about rent stabilization and capping how much folks' rents can go up. We also need to build more housing at market rate. We've got about 250,000 home shortage in Washington state. The ratio of number of homes to number of people and families living here is out of balance. We need more homes for the number of people that are here. We got to be building more market rate housing, and policies like accessory dwelling units, missing middle housing are moving us in the right direction there. And then we also need to make sure we're building housing for folks who market rate's never going to be a solution for. Seniors, folks on disability, developmentally disabled adults. Think about folks who are coming out of homelessness, coming out of addiction. We need recovery housing and supportive housing for those folks. So the piece I was excited to talk to you about today is important work on that supportive housing. This is an opportunity both to rebalance our tax code and make it a little bit more fair in the taxes charged when somebody buys or sells property, and at the same time make investments in that supportive housing piece that we don't have stable, consistent revenue for. So there's multiple tiers depending on the value of the property that you're selling. And if you're selling a property that is worth less than $3 million, you'll see either no change or a reduction in the taxes that you would pay. So folks at the bottom end will end up paying less taxes. For folks selling properties over $3 million, taxes would increase by just 1% from where they are right now. And we're able to do that while cutting taxes for everybody else, and we'll have revenue available that we can dedicate to that supportive housing, making sure that we've got housing for farm workers, for folks who are developmentally disabled, ongoing support through the Apple Homes for Health program, for whom housing is a healthcare need as well as just a basic human need.
Washington used to have the worst tax structure before, but not anymore?
Yeah, so you've probably heard before, Washington has the most unfair, upside-down, backwards tax code in the country. Folks at the bottom of the income ladder pay the most as a percentage of their income. Folks who are the wealthiest pay the least into our state and local taxes as a share of their income. That was true for the entire time I've been in Washington, and was true right up until the rankings were published this year. And because of work that this legislature and Democrats in the legislature in particular have led on, with the capital gains tax on sale of stocks and bonds, and the working families tax credit that gives folks the lower end of the income a share of their sales tax back every year. Those kinds of measures have moved us out of that unenviable worst place ranking. We've still got more to do, which is why I'm excited to support this real estate transfer tax. And every time we touch the tax code, in my view, we ought to work to make it more fair, and that's what this legislation will do.